how close is the government working with the campaign, and what are the objectives as well as strategies apart from, I guess, increasing tourism? And if you're using this nation branding campaign as a tool to reinforce this geothermal idea that Iceland can export this geothermal energy, and as well as which are the objectives short term?
In the Iceland Natural Conference.
Natural campaign, yeah.
Well, it's interesting that you ask about it, because I was personally involved with that campaign a few years ago. I was studying at the University of Minnesota in 2003 to 2006 in a public affairs program by Dean Arthur. I don't know if you probably familiar with him. And an excellent program, and sort of following that period, I was appointed chairman of the board for Iceland Naturally. So I have had some experience, direct experience with that program. And one of the interesting things about that is that we have quite a comprehensive set of data dating back to just before this campaign was started in the year 2000. And that was a big year for Iceland because we were appointed a European City of Culture. And then we had this big campaign commemorating the trips from Iceland to the New World, to the US, Leifur Eiríksson and all that saga. And when you take a look at these 10 to 11 years since Iceland Naturally started, you see that the Icelandic nature is, and our energy resources is probably the most important thing in terms of our image, in terms of the country's image. It's this pure natural energy would be sort of in a few words comprising what Iceland is about. And then you see also that there's more and more emphasis on Icelandic culture, on music in particular, on design, on films and literature, and the data shows that more and more tourists are pinpointing that they heard first about Iceland through these media, if you like. But I think that what we're going to see in the near future is obviously there's going to be quite an emphasis on utilizing Icelandic nature as this magnet for tourism, but also there's a lot of homework that needs to be done. And by that I mean we have to put much more money and efforts and planning into building up the infrastructure in our tourism industry here, and the facilities that you see at some of our biggest tourist attractions are not up to the standards that we need to see in a country like ours. So that's going to be a big challenge. But interestingly, I mean, I think tourism is going to be a very important factor in our resurrection, the economic resurrection following the financial meltdown. That's what we're seeing now, and despite the eruption at Eyjafjallajökull last year, that's sort of the only negative thing that has happened in our tourism industry in the past few years, and it has a side effect, which is that more people know about Iceland now because of the eruption, and it may turn out to have a positive sort of aftermath, like.